Hello, everyone. I just saw this tweet here from Kalu Aja, and it says the subsidy Bola Ahmed Tinubu is currently paying on imported PMS, which they say where there's supposed to be no subsidy removal, is more than the total projected cost of the Lagos to Calabar coastal road. And then who are the beneficiaries of this subsidy? It's Bola that knows, right? The beneficiaries of this who is the beneficiary of the Lagos Calabar coastal road is the same Bola that knows. It's crazy. That's the headline there. You see on Business Day, the headline says Tinubu's petrol subsidy gobs 15 trillion naira as scarcity worsens. Tinubu petrol subsidy. The same Tinubu that had said to Nigerians that there's no subsidy. The same Tinubu, on the day he was illegitimately inaugurated into office, said he no more subsidy, and then everything, prices went up, all the monies in Nigerians hand taken away. They are spending it up buying to maintain this cost of fuel because prices went up and stuff like that. Yet now you're coming to tell us that over 15 trillion have been paid in about how many, a year plus? And the National Assembly is sitting down there doing nothing. Isn't this supposed to be an impeachable offense or crime or whatever it is that you call it? Of course, we know impeachment can never even be a topic on anybody's discussion because first of all, he owns the National Assembly. Currently, Tinubu owns the National Assembly. Tinubu owns the judiciary. Tinubu owns the security agencies. And then, of course, Tinubu is trying to own the trade unions. That's why he's going after the Nigerian Labour Congress and the president, and then they have all these trumped up charges that they have put out there against him. So we are just sitting down here, monies are being used anyhow, people are suffering, there's so much suffering, and instead of citizens to go out there and begin to ask their elected officials what they're doing about all of this, they would rather come and meet their fellow citizens and come and be making demands on them, sometimes a lot of them with entitlement. Yeah, that's the case that we see. That's what is going on. It's absolutely crazy, all of these things that we have, out there. And as I sit down here, I'm just wondering what kind of citizens Nigerians are. What kind of citizens are we? We would rather face the destruction. And what do? People are sitting down praying to God. God will not solve your bad governance problem because he has given you everything that is needed to solve it. You are the ones that will solve your bad governance problem your own self. When time for election comes, another election will come again. People will be talking all sorts of nonsense. People will be saying this and that. People will be voting out of sentiment. Now we are seeing it. Let the suffering continue. Every one of us, we will hear it. For those, there were a lot of people who told us because we were supporting Mr. Peter Obi that, we are going to suffer. Well, aren't we all suffering? I don't think, I haven't been to a market in a very long time to buy anything anyways, but I sent people to go to market. I've never heard where they came back and told me that, they will ask you whether you were Peter Obi supporter so that they will reserve the suffering for you. Everybody is suffering the suffering. Politics is where everything is. We continue to put in wrong people into office and then we sit down and say that we are praying to God. In what way is God going to help us? Because God doesn't have work to do. It's us that will sit down and be helping. God is a just God, and he will do for people that have put in the work and done the right thing. If you've not done the work, there's no how you're going to get anything that you're supposed to get out of anything. And that's just the basics of it. We must understand that governance is a big business. Politics is something that we need to focus on. Yesterday, I was at an event. I haven't got to where they put agenda setting for the incoming CJN to say these are the things that have been wrong with the judiciary and these are the things that need to be put right. And somebody saw me and she said something. She said, Aisha, we haven't seen you in a while. Are you staying low key or whatever? I said, I'm not saying low key. But honestly, I don't have time being in places where they're just sitting down and it's just discussion for discussion's sake. And you can see that there's motion, but there's no movement. within this, okay, they are having meetings, they are having this seminar, they are having this whatever, all they're talking about, you talk about the problem of Nigeria, you talk about this, they talk about write notes, write this, write that. For me, that's I don't have time for that. You drink coffee, the whatever it is. If it's the one you travel to another state, they go there, you do this, you eat food, you come back, you discuss, you passionately discuss, and you go back home. And I said I'm not. I said my business, and I've said it, I repeat it, is to legitimately dismantle that structure of criminality, the criminal political structure that we have in Nigeria. That's where my focus is, and that's where politics. I said, I'm a politician. It's political activism. That's where me, I want to focus on. I don't have time. I will sit down and I'll be sitting down on the streets marching and making demands on people who don't care, who will not listen, who will sit down there arrogantly. I would rather sit down and look for legitimate ways to dismantle you from that office and ensure that the people that have voted in will listen. And if they too get in there and they don't listen, look for a way to legitimately also remove them. That's it. I don't have time to sit down and be going and be following this thing and talking and just be talking for talking's sake and whatever. No matter how long it takes, as long as I have breath in me, if it's going to be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, by the grace of God, if God gives me those years, I am here. On my 40th birthday, I had a covenant with God, and I said to him, if you give me another 40 years, I'm going to devote it to Nigeria. And we've just done 10 years. There's 30 more years to go. And if God gives me that additional 30 years on this earth again, I'm going to focus on Nigeria. Then if I get to 80, on my 80th birthday, I won't even know that there's an entity called Nigeria. So for me, it's that focus. For me, it's in politics. How do we get people into the local government, council? I got a call from someone from Labour Party in a particular state. Oh, that please, they're trying to raise money for election. They want to run for people. I say, you guys have closed your books. You've not allowed people to register. Your registration, this thing, you closed it. By now, Labour Party should have had up to 10 million new registered members. That was what we wanted. That was the drive we wanted. I was so, if you see how eager I was working on things that need to be done, how this thing, you make it so easy for people to register. They can register on their phone. They send them their cards. They can then print it and have their numbers, and then those that will be paying their monthly dues, so that at the end of the day, you don't need to have, what you call it, you don't need to have them selling forms at a very high rate. No, form should not be more than 100,000. Even the presidential form should not be more than 100,000. You pick it, sentimental, this thing, and then the monies that are being raised from all these monthly dues are enough to take care of the party itself. Should be enough, and should be enough for it to take care of campaigns to an extent, so that the party is the one helping and driving with the campaigns and stuff like that. So that what will then happen will be that people who do not have money, they have character, capacity, competence, and can serve, are patriotic, they will not be able to get into offices to do the work for Nigeria, and not the ones that it's only those that have money or that have stolen Nigerian money dry that will come and be running for office, or those that have that they have political organs, godfathers, that they are stooges to, that they'll be controlling them, that will bring them in. In that way, we begin to have more people who can work for Nigeria, run for office. They were not interested, and then you are coming from somewhere telling me that, oh, you people want to raise money. How does that concern? Do I look like? How does that even concern my life? I don't do things that are not, we know they even they rule. This Nigeria, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, we will all work for this Nigeria to be a better place, so that all of us will be proud of it. Thank you so much for watching.